you ever noticed how the word selfish tightens something inside your chest the moment you consider your own needs? How you can give endlessly to others, your time, your energy, your very peace. Yet the instant you think of choosing yourself, a voice whispers that you're abandoning everyone who depends on you. Carl Jung understood this paradox deeply. He saw that the people most terrified of selfishness are often those who have disappeared entirely into the needs of others. And in that disappearance, something strange happens. You don't become more loving. You become a hollow vessel pouring from an empty cup, wondering why everything feels so heavy. What happens when you finally put yourself first is not what you fear. It is what you've been waiting for your entire life. There is a reason putting yourself first feels wrong. From the moment we are young, we learn that goodness means sacrifice. A good child doesn't complain. A good partner anticipates needs. A good employee stays late without being asked. Slowly, invisibly, your identity becomes woven into how much you can carry for others. Jung called this the persona, the mask we wear to be accepted by the world. And for many, that mask is the endless giver, the one who never says no, never disappoints, never rests. But beneath that mask, the self, the deepest, truest part of you, is suffocating. I once knew a woman named Sarah who worked in healthcare. She said yes to every extra shift, every colleague's request, every family demand. When her body began to break down, migraines, exhaustion, a constant knot in her stomach, she still couldn't stop because stopping felt like betrayal. One night, after collapsing in the hospital break room, a colleague asked her, "Who are you serving by destroying yourself?" The question shattered something. She realized she wasn't serving anyone. She was avoiding the terrifying question, "Who am I when I'm not needed?" This is the first thing that happens when you put yourself first. You face the fear that without your sacrifice, you are nothing. But here is the truth Jung knew and whispered through all his work. When you stop abandoning yourself for others, you don't lose love. You create space for something real to grow. A person who puts themselves first is not cold. They are clear. They know their limits are not walls, but bridges, boundaries that allow genuine connection instead of resentful obligation. When you stop saying yes from guilt, your yes becomes powerful. When you stop giving from emptiness, your giving becomes nourishing. Imagine a garden. If you plant seeds but never tend the soil, never water your own roots, never let sunlight reach your own leaves, what grows? Only weeds of resentment, thorns of bitterness, and the slow death of everything you once loved about connection. Putting yourself first is not selfish. It is the only way to stop draining everyone around you with your unspoken exhaustion. There is a Buddhist teaching Jung admired. You cannot pour from an empty cup. But the wisdom goes deeper. An empty cup doesn't just fail to nourish others, it creates a vacuum that pulls energy from everyone nearby. Your exhaustion becomes their burden. Your resentment becomes their confusion. Your collapse becomes their emergency. When you start putting yourself first, something uncomfortable happens. Some people get angry. Some disappear. Some accuse you of changing, of no longer being the person they knew. And here is the Jungian truth that sets you free. They are right. You are no longer the person who abandoned themselves to keep them comfortable. And the people who cannot accept your boundaries were never loving you. They were using the version of you that required nothing from them. Jung said the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Real relationships survive your transformation. They deepen. They become honest. The ones that end were built on your self-betrayal, not your true self. Sarah told me that when she started saying no, her mother cried. Her supervisor frowned. 2 friends stopped calling. But her partner, the one who truly loved her, said, "I've been waiting for you to come back to yourself." The second thing that happens when you put yourself first is that you discover who was with you and who was only with your usefulness. And then quietly, something miraculous begins. When you stop living for external validation, you start hearing an inner voice you forgot existed. The voice that knows what you actually want, what you actually need, what actually matters to you. Jung believed that the greatest tragedy is not failure. It is living your entire life as someone else's idea of who you should be. When you put yourself first, you are not being selfish. You are becoming real.